Two people walked into the rainforest. Moments before, the forest had been alive with the sounds of squawking birds and howling monkeys. Now all was quiet, as the creatures watched the two people and wondered why they had come.
The larger person stopped and pointed to the great kapok tree. Then he left. The smaller man took the axe he carried and struck the trunk of the tree. Whack, whack, whack. Sound of the blows rang through the forest. The wood of the tree was very hard. Chop, chop, chop. The man wiped the sweat that ran down his face and neck. Whack, chop, whack, chop. Then the man grew tired. He sat down to rest at the foot of the great kapok tree. Before he knew it, the heat and the hum of the forest had lulled him to sleep. Some snakes lived in and around the kapok tree. They slithered down the trunk to where the man was sleeping. They looked at the gash the axe had made in the tree. Then the huge snake slid very close to the man and hissed in his ear.
Senor, this tree is a tree of miracles. It is our home. For generations our ancestors have us. Do not chop it down.
The colorful variety of creatures said in the sleeping man's ear.
Senor, our home is in the kapok tree. It provides us with everything we need to survive. It gives us food, shelter, and a beautiful place for our families to live. You see, all these things depend on one another.
A troop of monkeys scampered down from the canopy of the kapok tree. They chattered to the sleeping man.
Senor, we have seen the ways of man. You chop down one tree, then come back for another and another. The roots of these great trees will wither and die, and there will be nothing left to hold the earth in place. When the heavy rains come, the soil will be washed away, and the forest will become a desert.
Many birds flew down from the canopy.
Senor, you must not cut down this tree. We have flown over the rainforest and seen what happens once you begin to chop down the tree. Soon the forest will begin to disappear.
Some frogs and lizards crawled along the edge of the tree. In a squeaky voice, they piped in the man's ear.
Senor, a ruined rainforest means ruined lives, many ruined lives, including many of us homeless if we chop down the great kapok tree.
Some jungle cat hunters sitting along a branch in the middle of the tree. Because their spotted coats blended into the dappled light and shadows of the understory, no one had noticed them. As they leapt out and padded silently over to the sleeping man, they growled in his ear.
Senor, the kapok tree is home to many birds and animals. If you cut it down, where will we find our dinner?
Some sharp-toothed fish swam up from the Amazon River and gurgled to the man.
Senor, do you know what we animals and humans need in order to live? Oxygen. And senor, do you know what trees produce? Oxygen. If you cut down the forest, you will destroy that which gives us all life.
Some camouflaged bugs crawled over to the tree. The bug said to the sleeping man,
Senor, you are chopping down the tree with no thought for the future. And surely you know what happens tomorrow depends on what you do today. Big man told us to chop down this beautiful tree. He is now thinking with all children, and tomorrow we live in a world without trees.
Some forest rodents crawled over to the tree and said to the man,
Senor, how much is beauty worth? Can you live without it? If you destroy the beauty of the rainforest, on what will you feast your eyes?
Some children from the Yanomami tribe who lived in the rainforest knelt over the sleeping man. They murmured in his ear.
Senor, when you awake, please look upon us all with new eyes.
The man awoke with a start. Before him stood the rainforest children, and all around him standing were the creatures who depend upon the great kapok tree, or wonders what animals they were. The man smelled the fragrant perfume of the flowers. He felt the steaming mist rising from the forest floor. But he heard no sound, for the creatures were strangely silent. The man stood and picked up his axe. He swung back his arm as though to strike so to strike the tree. Suddenly he stopped. He turned and looked at the animals and the children. He hesitated. Then he dropped the axe and walked out of the rainforest.
The workers are building a road today. They're planning to cut through the woods. So they'll tear down the trees and they'll clear them away and say that it's all very good. But I know friends who live in the woods in a hollow hole in a tree. A lively must follow to get in and out, and the youngsters are too young to leave. There are families in the Kapok tree. Find another way around, going to town, let the animals live in peace. Please don't cut down their family trees. The kettles are singing a morning song from up in the branches so high. They sing to their little ones all day long and feed them and teach them to fly. Now what will become of some homes that they love when the treetops are holding cut down? All of the singing will stop in the woods when they start on that road into town. There are families in the Kapok tree. Find another way round for that road into town. Let the animals live in peace. Please don't cut down their family trees. The children came running as fast as they could. They had a solution to save the woods. Let's build us a road that goes under the ground, a tunnel that runs into town. There are families in the Kapok tree, and they don't hear a sound from that road underground, just the rustling of the leaves, and they live their lives in peace in the arms of their family trees.
Once we have walked out, please join us upstairs in our classroom. Thank you for coming to our play.